As I'm sure you've gathered already, I love books. I enjoy stories, I like to learn, and it's rare that I find a book that doesn't offer me both of those things. In August 2015, I decided to start recording what books I read, and I learned a lot about myself. And I also learned that I tended to read certain genres, and I also was very influenced by what was around me, what was readily available. So I decided to challenge myself to branch out, and whole new worlds opened up for me. I was extremely thankful to my library's interlibrary loan program for this. My favorite books tend to be the ones that either articulate something that I've always thought but never really been able to state easily myself. And I read it and I go, yes, that's what I'd always thought. That's what I always meant. And there it is, laid out just the way I thought it. And the other ones I really love are the ones that offer me insight into a way of thinking, into a group of people that I hadn't really fully thought about as much as I could have, or I'd never really understood before. The ones that sort of open a door into a way of thinking that I hadn't previously had before. And my favorite authors are those who lead with compassion. That's not to say that things don't happen to their characters that are hard. They don't keep their characters from difficult things happening, but they're always so gentle in how they deal with them. Um, and I am always surprised by the people who say that there's nothing really to be learned from fiction. They say, hey, you should be reading stuff that is nonfiction if you really want to learn. And I just feel like that's such a limiting perspective. There's so much to be learned from every type of genre. In historical fiction, it's obvious that you learn about the history that it's set in, but even in contemporary literature, you learn so much about perspectives and points of view and relationships, particularly if the authors are good at understanding relationships and how people relate to one another. Um, so, a few words for those who are interested in reading or growing as readers. This is what I've learned that's useful to you. I hope it will help you become more avid readers yourselves. There are too many books out there to settle with one that you dislike. I know there are some who say, any book I start, I have to finish. And I can respect that, but at the same time, I think that is so limiting if you're not careful, because it can force you to stick with a book that you really dislike, and there are so many books out there. You're never going to be able to finish all of them. So you might as well, if you're not enjoying a book, let it go and try for something new that you really love and would really enjoy more. The other thing I would suggest is that you have a whole bunch of books ready for you and of a whole different variety of types. Right now, I am reading some nonfiction, some mystery. I've always got some romance authors nearby. Um, Almost every time I go to the library, I check out another um, children's book or graphic novel to enjoy. And it means that whatever my mood, whatever I am feeling interested in, whether I'm trying to intellectually challenge myself or whether I just want happy endings or whether or not I'm just interested in pictorial storytelling, whatever it is, I've got something that will interest me in that moment. And it means I've always got something I'm willing and interested in reading. And hopefully that what works for me will maybe work for you too. And I hope that you never find yourself without something good to read.